Previously on my Enhypen adventure.
We're camping out for Enhypen. I think I managed to sleep almost 4 hours. We went to a restaurant. We're in line. We got our lanyard. We're inside the venue. So we were actually allowed to record soundcheck this time. Yes! I was being adorable! This was meant. Hi, we're back at Isabella's place. I don't know what time it is, but it's pretty late.
It's like 12.
Yeah, it's like almost midnight. Concert review, yay! We all love this. As always, we start with negatives and then we move on to positives. So, camping out, not worth it unless you get like number 50 or above, because otherwise you end up awkwardly in the middle where tall people are in front of you and you can't see, or you end up all the way in the back and you can see but they're like really small. So camping is not worth it unless you're in the first 50 people. So if you're gonna camp, you gotta commit, you gotta get there super early. Otherwise it is most definitely not worth it. Don't mind me putting my rings on camera because I forgot to put them on. Second off, if you are gonna camp, be prepared. Take like a mattress or at least some extremely comfy blankets. You will need blankets because it will get cold, especially if you're camping out in the winter. We were lucky that it was just LA, so we were able to survive. And take snacks and water. You'll need it. Take toilet paper because porta potties run out pretty fast, and take hand sanitizer because their water and soap runs out as well. That's the negatives for the camping. I just don't think it was worth it all the time. I didn't like how slow the venue was in terms of their checking in speed and the amount of time that they had us waiting outside in the heat to get in to check in and then to get in for sound check. They didn't provide like any sort of shade or misters, which I feel like would have been really easy if they just put like those big umbrellas, or if they would have let us maybe sit inside where it was shady and air conditioned, because a lot of people were getting like dizzy from lack of water from having had camped out all day, not enough sleep, and all of those things. What other negative can I think about? Once we actually got into the concert venue, I don't think the sound was the best. It was kind of like SoFi Stadium, where it was really difficult to hear them, especially when they were talking, but the music was relatively fine. Again, my camera probably picked up better sound than our ears. I also could not hear them at all over the screaming, so I missed maybe like a good 30% of what they said. And when the translator spoke, definitely could not hear what the translator was saying, period.
No.
So no idea what they said there. And the venue doesn't allow you to have water in the floor section, which is kind of weird because people get thirsty and like
You can't move once you're there.
Yeah, and you can't move once you're there. Like, people need water during a concert, so I think it's kind of inconsiderate of them that they don't allow, like, not even water at that section. And I feel like the confetti was a little too inconvenient, especially the little silver ones. It was just like sticky and it got everywhere. I think they still have some. Yeah, see, I have my
there was a lot of confetti, like
I have
more than
bits on me. And also, when that kind of confetti goes on the floor, it becomes extremely slippery, so it becomes like a safety hazard. And if someone trips on that confetti, I don't know who gets sued. I don't know if it's the venue or Enhypen or their record label. But somebody gets sued if somebody slips on that confetti. So I don't know who takes care of that, but don't do that. And I think that's kind of it for my side of negatives.
Yeah, I mean, you hit most of the points. I'd say definitely for short people, if you're not 50, if you're not at least 50 plus in line, it's definitely not worth it. If you're relatively tall, you probably will be okay, like 150 plus. But anything after that, you might as well just get regular GA, or be in the back. You'll still be able to see. The bath. I would say, the toilet paper, the porta potties. Be prepared to not have too many bathroom breaks.
There were only 2 porta potties for
Yeah.
everybody that was waiting in GA. It's
GA
VIP,
and
GIE, and regular GA.
for both. So, you'll have to. Oh, parking too. If you plan to drive, you're gonna have to move your car quite a bit and figure out where to park.
I don't even think that's just for this venue. I think that's
It's
like for everywhere. Yeah.
You're gonna, especially if you're camping out, you have to be prepared to look ahead of time where you can park. Because we got lucky enough that we ended up having a gut feeling to go move our cars at the right time when they said we needed to move them.
Yeah. I would probably just recommend Ubering to the venue or have somebody drop you off.
Bring lots of waters,
A lot of water. Yeah.
sweatshirts. It depends on. I guess if it's in summer, maybe not so much, but it's definitely something to lay
Definitely
on.
need a blanket, something to lay on.
Because it was brutal. We were on the ground.
And do not camp by yourself. You always need at least one other person watching your stuff when you're asleep. Take sleeping shifts. Or if you end up becoming friends with the people around you, and you trust them to watch your things, you can go ahead and do that as well.
Yeah, if you be prepared. I don't know how other venues work, but we had the venue change several times about unofficial lines and whatnot, and ended up honoring it.
I don't know. I think that's the venue itself where their employees really didn't know what to do about the campers, because at first they said, people who start lining up before you're let into the venue, that line is not going to be honored. And then they took that back, and they even started numbering people. And then when they went inside, they actually completely disregarded those numbers.
Yeah, when I got 195, even the fans started doing
Yeah,
numbers.
My
actual number was 230.
Once inside the venue, fans themselves went around with a marker and started numbering people. And we were supposed to honor the numbers created with the markers, but then 30 people cut in front
at
and
some point.
We ended up being completely different numbers. I ended up with 232, even though I was 196, I think, which is ridiculous.
So
why is there such?
And the fact that we had to go in, they didn't check we went in to get our lanyards and everything first. And then we had to go back out and wait another 2 hours before we were let back in. So like she said, that kind of, everybody was already on edge at that point, and we were all so tired.
We were all tired, dehydrated, hungry, overheated, I feel like the venue really didn't know what to do with the campers, and I don't think that's the venue's... Actually, no, I take that back. I do think it's the venue's fault, because the venue that I work at, I don't think I've ever mentioned on my YouTube channel, but I work concerts. The venue that I work at, whenever we know that people are going to camp out, we open the downstairs area and we let people use the bathroom and we let them line up over there.
They kicked us out right away.
So that it's safe and they don't have to be outside. It's like more comfortable for them. Like, we're very considerate of the people that want to camp. But Honda didn't do that, which is ridiculous because I know all of us could have fit inside the hallway. No problem.
The time did change too, so they had said a certain time, and then it got extended by like another 40 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to be in sound check around 4:30, and we didn't start sound check until like 5:30.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
And then
that's very true.
Yeah, so it was relatively a longer wait than what was supposed to be. I'm actually surprised that the show started relatively on time.
Yeah.
It was only like 3 or 4 minutes.
It was pushed back 30 minutes because it was supposed to start at 7, but
was it 7?
It was supposed to start at 7, but then it didn't get pushed until 7:30, and then it started at like 7:35
or 34.
Yeah, 7:35.
But at least it wasn't too bad. But it was still, everything got pushed back.
Yeah. Positives, because we end on positive notes. Their set was great. Every single song that they did was a banger. They're all extremely great performers. I appreciate that all of them, with the exception of Sung Hoon for most of it, spoke English. Excuse me. When did Sunu Jungwon and he sung learn English? And Nikki too. Like, when did they all learn English in the span from KCON till now? Because at KCON they were like pretty much only Jay and Jake, the two native English speakers, were the ones speaking English, and the rest of them were just speaking Korean and using the translator. I don't know when they picked up English, but they sounded so good. They were so confident. I think Sunghoon is not confident in his English, or maybe his schedule didn't allow him to study as hard. And like he was mainly the only one that used the translator, but it was because we didn't hear it, but okay, whatever. There was that. Their outfits were really nice. The sound for their voices was actually pretty good compared to the music. This place definitely has better sound than SoFi, just not for when they were talking without music.
Couldn't hear.
Yeah. Crowd was amazing. Very loud. Definitely Sunu and Nikki biased crowd.
100%.
Especially Sunu. I met some really nice people. There were people giving out a lot of freebies. The venue itself is really nice, even though it's not really designed for concerts, but the seats were nice from what I was able to see. They have a lot of bathrooms. They have water fountains. They do have like food and drinks if you did want to get that, obviously overpriced as any venue. But there was that. The effects on the screen were extremely nice. They actually took really good advantage of the multiple screens that they were given access to, something that I feel like BTS could have done at SoFi, but they didn't. I kind of like that they didn't have an extended stage.
You think?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it just kind of like left them in this one area where they could just like focus and have their like craft down. Yeah.
I would say, yeah, I liked how it was a little more intimate in the sense of they did like TXT. When they performed Polaroid Love, they actually went up to the first level and they interacted and touched and said hi.
Yeah, they went around, but
it was nice.
Unlike TXT, they only did it for one song.
It was
TXT
just one song.
did it for multiple.
But we didn't expect it.
And also, it was completely unexpected, and it ended up shifting like everybody in the GA section because everybody was like, "Oh my
so
God, I
they started running, and then so we realized, oh wait, this is our opportunity, and we got pushed a little more forward.
Yeah, so then we tried to go forward, but then I somehow ended up backwards, and like
I ended up forward. She was behind me at that point.
It was just a mess. So I feel like a fair warning would have been nice, but I mean, we were also the first stop of the American tour, and they didn't do that in Seoul, so it was just unexpected.
But their encore stage was good.
Oh yeah, they didn't want to leave. My ending, like goodbye portion for most concerts is like maybe like 8 minutes. This was like 12 minutes long.
Oh,
It was 12 minutes.
We got to meet Liam
McGowan. That has nothing to do with the concert, but yeah, we did get to talk to and meet Liam McGowan.
I know that Liam McGowan is not part of the concert, but I do briefly want to highlight the conversation that I did get to have with him. He remembered me from KCON. I told him I was the girl that was wearing the TX t-shirt that he complimented, and he remembered me. He was very sweet. He talked to us for a while. Like, he had a full-on conversation with us after the concert. I would say that the conversation was like a good 7 to 8 minutes maybe, versus the first time I saw him, we just exchanged a couple words, and then he took this selfie with me that you see on screen. I just appreciate that he was willing to hear me out, because I was telling him about how I'm trying to be a YouTuber or a TikToker that makes K-pop content, and that I would like to do what he does, which is like, you know, interviewing idols and whatnot. And he was just telling me that you just got to keep going and you have to keep pushing boundaries, and eventually it'll click if it's meant for you. And those words really stuck with me, and I think of his advice every now and then when I produce content and feel like it's not good enough. But everybody starts from somewhere, and basically, yeah, that's what we talked about, and he was very sweet. Don't know if you're ever going to see this, Liam, but thank you for your kind words and just for being kind in general. He's a very genuine person.
Even though the workers were slow, they were nice.
Yeah, if you ask them questions, they were
they
helpful.
were always willing to help, and if they didn't know, they would go figure it out for you. Here's one negative that bothered me so much. This specific venue that we went to, their bag policy is the most confusing thing ever. Because the bag policy itself says the bag has to be 5 by 9 by 1, regardless of if it's clear or not.
Unless you have a medical issue restricting that.
Yeah,
it
like you need
cannot
an
be
inhaler,
anything
you need
bigger.
An EpiPen, some pills,
Diabetic, anything.
whatever. If it's medical, you can have a bigger bag. We showed up, and obviously everybody had their gigantic clear bags, regular sized purses. All of these things were allowed, even though.
And I
also emailed the venue itself, and I was like, if it's a clear bag, regardless of what size it is, can I take it? And they were like, nah, even if it's clear, it has to fit within this size limit. And I'm like, that's
kind of a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so I found the smallest bag I had at my house, and it turns out I could have had something bigger and been a lot more comfortable if, they didn't. Also, I don't like that this place doesn't allow factory sealed water bottles, which most venues do.
So, even when we went in for sound check, there was hardly any time to go to the bathroom, to get waters, once you were down there. My only other negative is I had to go to the bathroom at some point before the venue started, and it was really hard to, find, if you're with people, it was hard to, find my place back in there. It's not guaranteed you're going to be able to push your way through.
Yeah. I also don't appreciate that they kept saying, if you have a number on your wristband, you have to get in order of the numbers.
We had to line up by the number,
which is fine.
Given.
I'm like, okay, cool, they're going to honor the numbers. They never checked the numbers. They never checked the numbers. So anybody could have just, gone through and been like, look, I have
Which probably did happen.
I'm like, look, I have the Honda Center thing, and not show their number, and then okay, cool, just keep going. Which is why I feel like some people that weren't around us in our spot ended up closer to the front. But anyway, I said no more negatives.
A little, but
I don't blame Enhypen for any of these complaints. The boys did their job, and they were
really good.
They were fantastic. Sanu was way too cute beyond belief. When everybody else was doing their goodbye speeches, he was just over there waving and giving finger hearts and doing this.
The crowd
and
screamed forever for him.
Yeah, no, dead ass. People were just screaming like crazy. I'm pretty sure I put the uncut scream clip of Sanu in there, but and anyway, I'm done. Do you want to add anything else before I show off the stuff that I got?
I don't think so. I think that's it for me. I mostly said my points as well.
Okay, cool. So the first thing I'm going to show is the light stick, and my dumbass forgot to take the light stick with me. But I at least want to show how I did decorate it. It has been used before. My friends used it at KCON when they went to the day one concerts, but yeah, I pretty much got all of it in this holographic silver stickers. This one says Sunu, this one says Nikki, and then on the handle I have these two holographic hearts, and then my records, Jay and Sunghoon. It is a nice light stick. Nobody had problems connecting it to their phones, so I don't really have much else to say about that. Other than I forgot to take mine, and it is a little annoying because I spent a lot of money on the stickers and the thing itself. Anywho, here is the lanyard that came with the VIP. This lanyard is not one of those lanyards that you can use with any keychain. It's one of those clippy lanyards, so I'm just gonna have to keep it like this forever, and I'm not gonna be able to use this with my keys. Slightly inconvenient, but that's okay. And in terms of VIP, this is literally all we got, so kinda trash. Considering that for Stray Kids, I also got a power bank, a fan, and a magnet, and an actual usable keychain. BTS's was at least an actual usable keychain, not this. Still cute though, it's a cute card. It has all of them in fan chant order, and the cities of which they were performing at for this tour. But yeah, that's what I got for VIP. And then in terms of freebies, I'm not going to take them out of this bag, but there's this like whole stack of like unofficial photo cards. They're mostly Sunu in here. I got this keychain thing that has a little J, so it could be for like Jay or Jake. Then I got this bracelet that says Ricky, which is what everybody calls Nikki for some reason. Then I got a 2003 liner pink bracelet. And then there's these like 2 rubber ones that just say Enhypen and I think, yeah, Manifesto, like the name of the album for the tour. These are some of the freebies. The last freebie that I got was a J cup sleeve that somebody was passing out. I picked up confetti and some of the streamers from the concert and threw them in this baggie. Then there was this banner that I think was a fan project. Don't know. Oh, it said to put this up during the ending speech. I didn't see anybody put these up at all. But I always keep banners. And then lastly, the venue itself / the company that runs Enhypen gave us these banners. It says, "You're blowing up our heart," and on the back it basically just says the instructions, but we just had to hold it up when the screens at the concert told us to. I didn't hold mine up. I never hold up banners. I don't. But yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got to say. I really got nothing else, so thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those things, especially the like button and commenting, because YouTube actually cares about that now, and it really supports my channel and boosts my videos if you like and comment. So much appreciated, and love you guys.